Welcome to the City of Marysville 2021 State of the City. We're excited here today to not only talk a little bit about the state of our city and what's going to be happening in 2021, but we're also going to revisit 2020 and the impacts that the pandemic and COVID-19 had on our community and how we were able to get through it effectively and efficiently. But first, I'd like to start with 2020 projects and the successful projects that we were able to have in 2020. And I'd like to begin with the State Route 31 Phase 2 project. All phases of the State Route 31 project opened at the end of 2020. This project provides a new road, roundabout, and 2 new signalized intersections to help alleviate congestion at the Mill Road State Route 31 intersection and add safety to the corridor. The US 33 exit ramp to State Route 31 North now operates under traffic signal control, eliminating the dangerous merge onto State Route 31. Ramp traffic will receive its own green light while State Route 31 northbound traffic is stopped. These new components provide many different options to access Mill Valley and the neighboring businesses. This is going to be extremely important as we move forward into the future, and that whole area continues to develop as the north part of Marysville continues to grow. Another vital project in 2020 that began was our water treatment plant project. That particular project is a 24-month project, and it's a $50 million project for the city. The primary purpose of the water plant is to increase our current capacity. Our current plant, which is over 100 years old, has a capacity of 4 million gallons a day, while our new plant that's under construction will be able to double that capacity and will really provide for the future of our water service to not only the citizens of Marysville, but everyone up and down the 33 corridor. Another project in 2020 that's going to be vital for our community moving forward is the construction of our BMX track. The track opened in the fall of 2020, and Marysville BMX Track is the 7th track of its kind in the state of Ohio. The track will be used to host races and events multiple days each week through the spring, summer, and fall. Marysville BMX is a private organization that will lease the track from the city and be responsible for programming and scheduling these events. During times when no events are scheduled, the track will be open to the public, weather permitting. The track was made possible by the efforts of multiple organizations working together to repurpose a formerly remediated landfill into a use that will benefit the community for many years to come. We look forward to the activities of the BMX track, and I think the youth of the community will as well. The cash position of the city's enterprise or utility operating funds increased $3.1 million in total, from $40.4 million to $43.5 million. This was an 8% increase from 2019. These funds have allowed the city to continue planning and constructing numerous capital improvements and expansions to the city's utility system. In the city's governmental operating funds, the cash position improved from $15.7 million in 2019 to $19.2 million, a $3.5 million or 22% increase in 2020. This significant increase is due to 2 primary sources of revenue: income tax and COVID-19 relief from the state and federal government. Regarding income tax collections, 2020 receipts totaled $20.9 million, is 1.6 million, or 8.5%, greater than the amount the city collected in 2019. Financially, 2020 ended up much better than anyone would have ever anticipated. And lastly, in 2020, I'd like to talk about what we were able to accomplish with our events and recreational activities. I'll give you a couple examples that we were able to successfully open our swimming pool for the full summer to allow our residents and members swim as they would under any normal circumstance, even though we all know the pandemic and COVID-19 was not normal. And so opening that pool gave us some normalcy and gave us an opportunity to provide a primary recreational activity to our citizens. Also, we were able to continue to have our ice skating activities at Partners Park during the winter months, and we were able to bring the ice rink in for a month during the Christmas season and allow our residents to participate in the skating and the fun activity that's brought to our community for several years. So to close 2020, it was an extremely challenging year, but we were still able to accomplish primary key projects in the community, as well as activities that our community has known to grow and enjoy. So we were able to successfully navigate through the pandemic, but what that means is it makes it much more exciting as we head into 2021. As I talk about some of the activities and the exciting events and projects that are going to be coming to the city of Marysville in 2021.
The first recorded case of COVID-19 in our community was March of 2020. And since that time, we've been in emergency operations. We've seen over 4,000 cases of COVID in our community, more than 160 hospitalizations and more than 30 deaths over the past year. And it really meant that 2020 was a challenging time for everyone, whether it be our residents, our businesses, or our partners. However, one of the things that became abundantly clear throughout 2020 was that our community was able to rise to meet all of those challenges, particularly our businesses who did an exceptional job with adapting their business models to reduce the risk to their patrons, but also to their staff. They've done a phenomenal job and continue to do that to this day. To our residents who adopted practices to protect themselves and their families, and really our partners who stood up with us in that emergency response center back in March and have been assisting us ever since, shoulder to shoulder, as we rose to meet each challenge that this pandemic brought to us. One of our key challenges that we face throughout the pandemic is how do we move about our day-to-day business? Knowing the risk that the pandemic has brought into all of our lives, knowing the challenges and tragedies it brought, it became critically important to adapt how we navigate our daily life, whether it's going out to eat or shopping or anything with recreation. And we're very fortunate in working with the city to have Amanda Morris, our event manager, who we worked with on a regular basis to talk about how to do just that, how to keep folks safe who want to engage in things in and around the city. And her creativity really allowed Marysville to continue to provide some services that other communities had to stop or cancel for the summer. Things like the pool, things like the dining out, the Mora, those sorts of activities really were things that Amanda worked on with us to allow some things to continue like they would any other year, but do it in a way that reduced the risk of transmission of COVID-19. All the support that we've received from the city has come under the leadership of the city manager, Terry Emery. For the past year, Terry has met with the Emergency Operations Center on a regular basis to provide updates from what he is seeing and to hear updates from us. And that relationship has helped steer and guide all of our interactions with the city and our response efforts. Nothing that we've done could have been possible without the support of Terry, back to both Jay, to Tony, to Amanda. That support has been integral to all of our response, and we're very grateful for his support of our operations through the past year. As we move into 2021, there are many challenges ahead of us. The pandemic is not over, but there is hope. And part of the reason that there is hope is not just because there's a vaccine. There's hope because throughout 2020, our residents, our businesses, our partners all rose to meet the challenge. They stood side by side with public health, with emergency operations to do what was necessary to keep all of our residents safe. There's no reason to believe that that won't continue in 2021. Until we get through this pandemic, we know that the community response will continue to be strong, and our partnership with the city and the residents will continue in 2021. And that gives me a lot of hope, particularly at this time.
"2020 was a very exciting year for Uptown Marysville. Leon's announced a $3 million expansion, which includes a restaurant, also meeting rooms, 2 floors, which will be a huge win for the Uptown area. Also, Half Pint announced its expansion, which will include a patio, restaurant space for a food truck, as well as a bar restaurant in the old Gate Brothers. We're so excited to see that investment happen in the community. Furthermore, Jason Duff and Doug Olson announced they're actually going to rebuild the co-build space at the Lamplighter building into working space for people who need offices. If they're not working in the office, they can actually come here and actually rent space. In addition, the Avalon Theater was announced as well. All these developments during a time where this country was in a crisis is a huge win for Uptown Marysville. Another project which was completed in 2020 was the Memorial Health expansion. $50 million being invested near the Uptown area, which is going to improve healthcare for many years. We greatly appreciate all the time, effort, and all the support that Memorial Health gives to the Marysville community.
You know, I think the Memorial 2020 project's been 15 years in the making, so it's nice to see that finally come together. I think we've always felt like we had everything else. We had a great team of employees. We have an outstanding medical staff. Our quality is high. Our patient satisfaction was good. Our finances were good. We just didn't have the facility to match the good work that everybody was providing, and I think that the older facilities actually weighed down on the perception of care that folks received here at Memorial. So, you know, I think to be able to come into this space now and see how it turned out, I think we've actually turned a weakness of Memorial into one of its greatest strengths, and now all the people that work here, our care providers, our physicians, our nurses, they have a toolbox now to work with that just really allows them to shine. So I think more than anything, we can't take care of patients if we don't take care of ourselves first, and so I think you know, this is a generational project for us. This is something that we did to you know, hopefully set up the community to have great health care for the next 30 or 40 years. I'd say 95% of the Memorial 2020 project is completed, but there still are some steps remaining. Hopefully in late April or early May, we will open our new renovated oncology space, which is in the area where the old health center and above occupational health is located. We're working on finalizing a relationship with the James for oncology services here at Memorial that we're very excited about and hope to make an announcement finalizing that very soon. And then we're also doing a lot of the connecting hallways. We built 2 new buildings, but everything in between is more dated, and trying to get those connecting hallways the same look and feel that you might see if you're in this inpatient building or if you're in the outpatient building as well. You know, I think one of the coolest things about the Memorial 2020 project is how the whole community came together. You know, whether it's our employees, our medical staff, our donors, our volunteers, community partners like the county commissioners, the city of Marysville. So many folks came together. This project wouldn't have happened without them. But, you know, Marysville is one of the fastest growing communities in the state of Ohio, and there's really no reason why folks need to leave Marysville to access 90% of the care that they might need to receive. And so I think Marysville deserves a facility like this, and we wanted to provide it to them. We're very proud to show it off. I wish, absent COVID, we would have had a lot of open houses and been able to invite people in to see the facility, and we haven't been able to do that as much as we'd like, but I know we've done virtual tours and things like that. But the facility is beautiful. Our team did a wonderful job, and we're really proud to be able to provide that to the community that has supported us so well.
A little over a year ago, our relationship with Memorial Health became even better. We heard about another comparable city's partnership with a local hospital that included an athletic trainer program. The idea was to provide that same service for our police officers and firefighters. City Manager Terry Emery set up a meeting with Memorial Health President and CEO Chip Hubbs. In that meeting, the only one more excited about the program than Terry Emery was Mr. Hubbs. We outfitted a room at the police and court facility, and the program was born. Memorial provides us an athletic trainer who holds office hours right at the police facility. Employees can walk in and get outstanding treatment. The program has already reduced joint-related issues. Our police and firefighters are better able to deal with the physical stresses of their particular jobs. It's a remarkable program that is a result of our remarkable relationship with Memorial Health.
"2020 was a very exciting year for the 33 Innovation Park. Two major projects were announced. First, the Southgate Corporation announced plans to construct an 84,000 square foot building of Class A industrial space, something that Marysville has never had. Furthermore, the vacancy rate in industrial space in the county as a whole is less than 1%, so this will fill a critical need going forward. To make that building a reality, the community and the developer received a $1.8 million grant from the state of Ohio to actually make it happen. Secondly, Alcorta, which is a Spanish company, is building their first North American facility in the park. Construction is scheduled to begin later in 2021. Both of these developments will actually bring great investment as well as jobs and payroll to the city of Marysville. So exciting things to come forward in the 33 Innovation Park.
Two projects in 2021 that have us really excited is the Columbus Avenue Whitening Project and the State Route 38 Whitening Project. I'd like to break those down for you in some detail. The Columbus Avenue Whitening Project includes roadway improvements along Columbus Avenue between the intersections of Dunham Street and Clymer Road. The improvements include asphalt resurfacing, new curb, drive approaches, sidewalks, asphalt shared use path, street lighting, street trees, center turn lane addition, and storm sewer work. This project is going to dramatically enhance Columbus Avenue and is going to go a long way to help when we continue to develop that area into the future. The State Route 38 Improvement Project includes roadway improvements along State Route 38 between the intersections of Greenwood Boulevard and Timberview Drive. The improvements include asphalt resurfacing, new curb, drive approaches, sidewalks, asphalt shared use path, street lighting, street trees, and storm sewer work. This project will improve London Avenue and make the southern entrance into the city of Marysville an attractive feature. Another very exciting project in 2021 is the Avalon Theater. Although it's not a city project, it's a project that's going to mean a lot to our community. I happen to serve on the board of directors, and it's exciting to watch the development of the theater as the project comes to an end. We're looking at probably starting programming this summer in hopes of having activities and events in the theater starting in August of 2021. And lastly, for 2021, although there's a lot more going on, one of the things that I think the city accomplished that the citizens are really going to benefit from is the establishment of a communication department in the city of Marysville. We are starting a communication division with a communication director who will implement different ways to make sure the community is informed on various activities and events that are going on in the city, as well as providing a monthly newsletter that'll go out digitally to all our citizens so they can keep updated on projects as they occur and as they happen, and it'll keep our community in the loop as to not only what's happening, but what's coming up into the future. As we reflect on 2020, I just want to say thank you to everyone who made the year as good as it could possibly be. From our city employees to our city council, to the collaborations that we had with Union County Health Department, Memorial Hospital. Our safety services were just absolutely incredible. We all had to adjust, and we all did. And we all made it work for the city, not only in 2020, but it's going to make us much better off in 2021 and beyond.